Hi, welcome back to Feminism on Trial. It's been a bit of a difficult month for me. Stress and how it affects my health and everything. So thanks for tuning back in. And if you're new, welcome. This is where we examine feminism and everything that it has done to our society. And this channel's a little different because while I talk about large-scale issues, it's more on a personal level. So it's more from my personal experiences. It just seems that I am incapable of doing it any other way. It's just how I operate. Saying that, I saw a man that I know who is divorced. I saw him a couple of days ago, and I know that he did not want the divorce. And as happens so many times, 80% of divorces are initiated by women, and that was the case here. We were driving, and I know he's red-pilled. He knows I, do this channel, and I had to, he doesn't tell me stuff. I felt like I needed to reach out to him. I could sense it. So I said, isn't it interesting that statistically it could be possible that so many ex-husbands or ex-boyfriends are narcissistic abusers? And he said, yeah, I was called a verbal abuser. And I said, I'm not surprised, because I swear it's every single ex of a woman, every single ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, when she describes them to her friends or to the next man, he was narcissistic. He was abusive. This cannot be possible. There aren't that many narcissists. There aren't that many abusers. So what's going on? What is it? In order for the woman to break off the relationship and initiate that divorce or that breakup or what have you, she needs a reason. And the reason it can't make her look bad. She can't be the villain, you see. She just can't be. So the man has to be the villain. If he is narcissistic and he's an abuser, then she's an innocent victim. It's still the man bad, woman good. It's still playing out. Now, how can she accuse a man of verbal abuse when he's clearly not? How does she even get away with that? Well, a scenario might be, say she's nagging him about something. She's just, let's say he's had an injury. Let's say he's had an injury at work, he's hurt his back, something, and he's incapacitated for a time. And she's just frustrated about this. And she's like, you're not even trying, you're this, you're that, the other. She's just emasculating him and berating him. If you asked her, she'd say, well, I'm just encouraging him. Sure, that's what's happening. Let's say he finally says, look, I'm doing the best I can. You need to stop being nasty, you need to stop being bitchy, blah, blah, blah. Abuse. So basically, she's going to instigate it. She's going to insult him. She's going to criticize him. How come you're never on time? How come you never remember when to pick up the kids? How come da-da-da-da-da, right? And he says something in his defense. And just by defending himself, he's now the abuser. And a lot of times it's the woman's just on and on and on and on. And he finally has enough and he says something back, boom, now you're the abuser. And you're not. You're not. The thing is, though, what I have experienced with talking to these men personally is that even though in their mind they know, wait, but I didn't. They still, their nature is to take accountability for it and go, what could I have done differently? Maybe I did react too harshly. Maybe I wasn't patient. Maybe if I did this, maybe if I did that, whatever. No, it wasn't you. What you're basically saying when you're being over accountable is, maybe if I'd been a better punching bag. That's really what it is. Maybe if I just maybe if I'd been more of a slave to her and just done everything she said every moment, and then she'd be happy. No, it still wouldn't work, because you can't make a woman happy. You can't. You know how I know that? A lot of ways. But I know that because in the beginning, Adam and Eve were in the garden and everything was perfect. They had everything. They wanted for nothing. Everything was perfect. And it still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough for Eve. I mean, that's my be all end all example. But you cannot make a woman happy. It's never enough. It's never going to be good enough. We'll get into that in another video. We talk more about female nature and what that's all about. But guys, my point here is that, are there guys out there that aren't good? Sure. You know that, I know that. Probably even those guys know that. But that's not the majority. That's not. The majority are guys that just wanted to have a wife and kids and provide and love them. And for whatever reason, they were told repeatedly how they're failing here and they're failing here and they're failing there. And what I've seen is guys try to bob and weave and do everything they can to bow down. And what I have witnessed personally is that the more the man tries, the worse it gets. Because it isn't about the guy. She's gonna find fault in you. She's looking for a reason. She's looking for a reason to have more, to get more, to whatever it is. She's frustrated with her own life and her own self, and you are the scapegoat. And that's the reality of it. And so, please, I love that you guys are responsible and accountable. And I sure do wish more women, any women, would learn that. It was a hard lesson for me. Because I thought I was, like most women, and then I learned that I wasn't. But you guys are great examples. But man, you take it too far sometimes, and you don't see what she's really doing, the level of manipulation, the level of her abuse to you. And it's all so she can paint you as the bad guy, so she can be the innocent victim. It's happening in our society on a macro level, and it's happening in households and in families on a micro level. So, pick yourselves up, read more Jordan Peterson. And I'll tell you guys what women are constantly saying to each other, which they need to stop. You guys need to know your worth and your value. I understand that you're not being valued in this society, but you should be. You built it. It's still running because of you. And I just want you guys to know that. Okay? Be well.